If you're planning a development in a tight urban location, there's one piece of paperwork that could stop your crane in its tracks: the crane oversailing licence. Hi, I'm Faye Williams, Director at Harrison Clarke Chartered Surveyors. In this video, I'll explain when and why you need a crane oversailing licence, how the process works, what it could cost, and what to do if things don't go to plan. Whether you're a developer, contractor, or site manager, understanding how oversailing licences work will help you avoid delays, manage neighbours, and keep your project moving legally and safely. So let's get to it. A crane oversailing licence is a formal agreement that gives you permission to swing part of a crane, usually the jib, over land or airspace that doesn't belong to you. This is common in tight city sites, where there's little room to manoeuvre, sites with tower cranes, where the boom must rotate freely, projects next to occupied or sensitive buildings. Legally speaking, even if the crane never touches the neighbour's land, the act of passing over it is considered a trespass, and that can lead to legal action, injunctions, delays, and increased costs. That's why you must arrange an oversailing licence before work begins. A licence protects you from legal risk and gives the neighbouring landowner reassurance that you have proper insurance, you'll manage safety and disruption, and they'll be compensated if appropriate. If you're using a crane that oversails public land, like a highway, you'll usually need permission from the local authority, not a private landowner. The oversailing licence isn't a standard form. It's a negotiated agreement between you and the affected landowner. Here's how the process typically works. First, we identify which land or airspace will be oversailed. You'll need accurate site plans and crane specifications for us to review. We will then handle negotiations, draft the licence and liaise with the neighbouring owner or their representative. We will also negotiate the terms, which might include the duration of oversailing, operating hours, insurance levels, indemnities, payment or licence fees. Once agreed, we would draft and agree the licence. It's usually formalised as a legal agreement, sometimes involving solicitors on both sides. We can also monitor compliance throughout the oversailing period, as you'll need to ensure the crane operates within the agreed terms. It's important to start the process early, particularly if the neighbouring landowner is cautious or difficult to contact. At Harrison Clarke, we act as independent surveyors, helping facilitate smooth, fair negotiations that protect both parties and keep your project on track. There's no fixed cost for an oversailing licence. It depends on several factors, including the value of neighbouring land or airspace, the duration of the oversail itself, the risk or inconvenience to the neighbour, whether solicitors might need to be involved, and whether access to land is needed, for example, to assemble the crane itself. Typically, costs may also include a licence fee or compensation payment to the neighbour, the surveyor's fees, often paid by the developer, and legal fees, again if solicitors are used. As a rough guide, you might expect to pay a few hundred to several £1,000s depending on complexity and location. We always recommend being transparent and respectful during negotiations, because in many cases, goodwill can reduce friction and cost. Oversailing is often temporary, but getting it wrong can cause long-term setbacks. Investing in the right advice upfront is far more cost-effective than dealing with a dispute later. On a straightforward site with a cooperative neighbour, you might agree an oversailing licence in as little as 2 to 3 weeks. However, where there are delays in contact, complex negotiations, or solicitor involvement, the process can take several months. Some key factors affecting timescales are how quickly you identify the oversailing risk, how responsive the neighbouring party is, the complexity of the proposed crane used, whether legal advisors or managing agents are involved. But our advice? Start early. Ideally, raise oversailing issues during pre-construction planning, not once the crane is already on site. Having a clear plan, drawings and a professional surveyor involved from day one speeds up the process and builds trust with the neighbour. Unfortunately, neighbours don't have to say yes. If a neighbouring owner refuses to allow oversailing, you may need to redesign the crane operation to avoid their land. Negotiate further, potentially with increased compensation or revised terms. As a last resort, seek a court order or injunction relief. However, court action can be expensive and risky, especially if your case isn't well prepared. The best approach is to work with a qualified independent surveyor who can open the conversation professionally. Offer reassurance on safety, liability and insurance. Document all proposals and communications, and provide expert evidence if legal action becomes necessary. At Harris & Clarke, we focus on early engagement and clear communication, helping to avoid disputes before they escalate. And remember, even if an agreement can't be reached now, you may be able to revisit it later, especially if your project changes or the neighbour's position softens. Construction doesn't always go to plan, and sometimes oversailing lasts longer than expected. If your project overruns, you'll need to extend or renew the licence before it expires. This typically involves notifying the landowner early, agreeing on revised terms, paying an additional fee if applicable, but leaving it to the last minute risks breaching the agreement, which could lead to legal action or even an injunction to stop crane operations. Our tip? Build some buffer time into the licence and maintain regular contact with the neighbouring owner or their representative. Most neighbours will be reasonable, especially if you've kept them informed throughout the project. Crane oversailing licences may seem a small part of the construction process, but get them wrong and they can bring your whole site to a halt. With early planning, clear communication and professional advice, they're usually straightforward to resolve. If you're facing an oversailing issue or want help negotiating a licence, get in touch with our team at Harris & Clarke. We've helped clients across the country manage these agreements legally, safely and with minimal disruption. Like this video? Subscribe for more clear, practical advice for developers and contractors. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.